Now, what would you consider top 3 significant events in the industry? Do you have any thoughts on
Yes,
that?
I have an opinion on that. The very first, very important decision was made by the FCC in 1965, called the Codiphone decision. Codiphone decision was a decision by the FCC to permit the installation or the attachment of equipment to the telephones. Western Electric, yeah. AT&T, this Western Electric, they had a monopoly on the manufacture of telephone equipment. If you wanted a phone, you could get any color as long as it was black. It was a rotary dial, and the gentleman by the name of Mr. Carter was manufacturing a product for sales to the oil fields in Texas, whereby a call would come in from someone who wanted to talk to an engineer out in the field. Well, they had two-way radios at the main office of the oil company, and they could talk to a supervisor out in the field miles away. But they needed some way to talk to the person who's calling in on the telephone line. So he invented a acoustically attached microphone and speaker so that the call would come into the office. They would want to speak to a supervisor miles away out in the oil field. So in the office they would arrange the telephone coupled with the transmit and receive speakers so that the guy out in the field could talk to the person on the telephone who might be calling from New York, for example. And the phone company would not let him attach that acoustic equipment to the telephone system. No electrical connection, but it was acoustic only. And he sued AT&T and Western Electric, FCC, then approved the so-called Codiphone decision, which allowed the connection of equipment made by manufacturers other than Western Electric.
What year was that, do you recall?
I think it was 1965, the Codiphone decision.
65.
So because of that, now you could buy a blue phone or a green phone. Then the alarm companies would be able to attach communication devices, tape dialers, and so forth. So that was a very important decision in this business. The next very important event in this industry was the digital communicator. In the early days, we had McCullough circuits, we had direct wire. They had their good points, their bad points, but then to be able to use the switch network of the telephone company to send information, such as an alarm signal, simply by having a device to automatically dial. All of those things were allowed by virtue of the Codiphone decision, and then the digital dialer was a clever device that we latched onto and made it possible to send all kinds of information. And the other thing that was of importance to the alarm industry is the takeoff of the internet. So now we have another way of getting a signal from point A to point B using the internet. So those are three things that impacted greatly, I think, on the alarm industry, and probably, I'm sure, impacted on other industries. But from my point of view, they were very important events.